What's going on, everyone? This is going to be a recap video for Vortex Cup tournament hosted by the KD PvP server. You can look on the Sylph website for a list of what type of Pokemon weren't allowed and were allowed. This is a team I went with. The standard, very super powerful Primeape. Got a Hypno there to help check it, and some of the other Pokemon that are out there. Lapras deal with a lot of flying types and some of the ground. Quagsire was good to also cover fighting, and some of the electric types that were out there. Crustle was kind of a clutch pick here, and then Drifblim was just kind of a fun anti-fighter to roll with. We see first round one against Cool J. Going with a little bit of a different team here than we've seen. Rocking the Shelgon and the Blaziken were pretty spicy. Didn't see that a lot, and bad lead, obviously. It sends in the Venusaur, which is a pretty good counter for Crustle. I don't want to take Frenzy Plants. So I do shield up one. I'm going to just try to burn the shield here. This is super effective X-Scissor. But unfortunately, just because I'm using Smackdown to help deal with ice types, I'm not going to be able to get to a whole lot of them, and X-Scissor isn't super strong. So I at least got one shield, and I got it low, I got it pretty low. So I'm just going to let it go, not shield the Frenzy Plant. I'll wait a little bit here. I'm going to send back in the Primeape to get a head on energy, or get a couple extra things, not really a head. This is probably a Bubble Beam is what I'm thinking. So he's just going to debuff me, and I have a Night Slash stored, but unfortunately he has a Frostlass in the back, so not very good for me. I do go for the bait so I can get rid of his last shield. And so I am successful there. And I'm still a few confusions away from the Shadow Ball. So I do shield an Avalanche, unfortunately. And then he beats me to the Shadow Ball. This Frostlass is very powerful, and we know just how quickly it can generate energy. He's out of shield, so this one Night Slash will take it out. He was pretty low. I probably could have farmed up a little more. But I think I get off 2 Night Slashes here. Yeah, or I almost do, but he debuffs me, right? Or does he go for Ice Beam? Yeah, Ice Beam, which is enough to take out Primeape. Even though it's resisted because he's a fighting type, it's still, his Primeape's defenses aren't that great. So it's the first match. So I'm gonna go with the same team, pretty much. And I do catch the Shelgon in the lead here, which isn't too bad, just because it takes it a while to get to moves, and I'm just gonna be able to throw Night Slashes at it a little or quicker than it's able to get to like Twister. Definitely quicker than Flamethrower, and the Primeape's gonna win CMP. So yeah, he throws a Twister, and then I'm just going to commit to the farm down here. And he sends back in the Mantine, and I'm able to get to 2 Night Slashes. So it's just going to do chip damage. I don't think I'm going to be able to burn a shield, just because he knows it's not going to do a whole lot. I know some people were using Ice Punch for this, but it's not worth it. It's not worth the coverage. So I'm not going to shield. It's probably a Bubble Beam. Yeah. So then he dips in. He has the Frostlass. So this is what we were hoping for. He has 2 shields, unfortunately. So it's kind of in a tight spot. And he does Shadow Ball me, which does so much damage that I do have to throw a charge move here, just because I don't want him to get to another move, which he almost does anyways. Ugh, it's just a bad spot. So at least I did get a shield, but I'm able to confusion down this Frostlass, and I have almost two Thunder Punches here, which his Mantine is super low. And there was his last shield. I think this is just an Ice Beam, and Hypno can tank that very easily. And then I'm able to finish it off with that Thunder Punch. So very close match. not calling or not shielding that Shadow Ball almost hurt me, but being able to save the shield ended up being very good at the, or I guess, yeah. So I lead Quagsire, and I lead it into the Mantine, which my Quagsire is pretty decent. I know I can at least live a few of these and win this matchup just going straight Stone Edge. And he doesn't shield the first one. And I'm pretty sure he's just going to Bubble Beam me here. So I am debuffed a bit, or I am debuffed once, but I'm able to get to this Stone Edge again quicker, just because Mudshot's so much faster of a move, and he lets it go down. So I'm just going to keep staying here, even though I have Lapras in the back. I don't want to switch lock myself, just in case he has like his fighter or something else in the back that, or maybe even the Galvantula, which is kind of what I'm thinking. So he sends in the Shelgons. Okay, so I'm in a decent spot here. So I just Stone Edge it, and then I send in the Hypno, which was just so I don't have to have Hypno against the Frostlass at the end of the match. And Hypno can tank these charge moves, and then I just go for the Thunder Punch here, so it doesn't do any more chip damage to me. Then he is gonna, or actually no, I get to this Thunder Punch faster, see if he'll shield, which doesn't, which is pretty good ballsy play. But I'm in a very good position here. It's really low. I still have, we're both still have one shield, but just having Lapras, that I am resisting these Powder Snows. I do shield the Avalanche, unfortunately. I miscounted. And then this Shadow Ball does a pretty decent chunk against my Lapras, but I'm able to get to the, just farm it down. Don't even risk the shield there. So going in round 2 against Legally Sedated, he is going with a double flyer team here with the Pelipper and Mandibuzz. So I gotta watch out for that. I know Cradilly I have decent counters with. Then we have to deal with Frostlass again. So this, the Cradilly with the Drifblim is a little bit of a tricky match, but I know I win CMP to Icy Wind, even going up to the Shadow Ball. And then after I debuff him, I know I can take a Stone Edge. I just don't really want to, so I am going to try to keep switch here. And then I go immediately for the second Icy Wind. And yeah, I do get the shield, and then he switches, so I go immediately into my Crustle, doing super effective damage with these smackdowns. And then I'm not going to show these aerial aces, it's just not very strong, but he is going to be able to pump them out very fast. It's because it's a cheap move, and Snarl generates energy super fast. So do just go for the aerial ace. So it's probably a mistake, because he's probably not going to shield it. Yeah, I should have just gone for the rock side there. I was hoping to at least burn both shields. Because I have a little bit too much health there, and this Primate just gets to farm me up. And I go directly into my Hypno, which I accidentally used my Shadow Hypno here. Which is good and bad. Or it's bad because it's not on my team, but those Night Slashes do extra damage to me. And I'm out of shields. So, yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, the stone, you see the Stone Edge after one debuff isn't very much. I'm able to Icy Wind it, and then he comes back in. I think he just straight count. Oh no, he does throw a charge move here. And then he's actually about to be at another one where I could have thrown the Thunder Punch. I think I still would have lost the CMP tie there. And he gets the boost. So I lost that round, or that match, which I would have had to forfeit anyways because I used the wrong Hypno. I was using Shadow Hypno for a different tournament. So I'll lead this. I get the lead here with the Primate, and he goes directly into Galvantula, which actually wrecks my backline. So at least I have an energy advantage, and I know I can win this even if he just lunges me. I just throw Night Slashes as fast as I can. He does get an extra Volt Switch in. Alright, so I got both of his shields, and I just barely get this one off. So I keep switch advantage. And the Cradily comes back in, so I'm able to send back in my Drift Blim, which we saw earlier. I do win CMP against it. I couldn't afford to get off that extra Hex. And then, do I just let this go? Yeah, I'm not going to shield this one. You see, I take it, just not very well. And then I do have the right Hypno this time to take out his Primate. And yeah, you see that Night Slash doesn't do nearly quite as much damage. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Thunder Punch to take it out. I don't want to risk taking another Night Slash. And then I'm kind of through. I get hit with the move here, which I shield. And then I throw the Thunder Punch kind of like an idiot. It does nothing, yeah. I really needed one more confusion, and I would have been able to just Shadow Ball it. And then with the last Hex, he doesn't have enough energy. I think that last Bullet Seed would have given him a Grass Knot, but either way, that's tied up at 1 apiece. And go ahead and go in with the same lineup. Really, the only thing I don't want to see is the Pelipper in the lead. And this is a really funny matchup to me. Just because it's a Dark and Flying type, and it's using a Dark move, so Primate actually can do very well, depending on how much they want to shield. So I build up a little bit just past 2 Night Slashes. I'm going to throw the first one, hoping to get a shield. And then I'm not going to shield this Aerial Ace, so it does a lot of damage. And I go ahead, I get the 2 close combats. And you see how low that Mandibuzz already is. So I go ahead and double, like he's all in. Go ahead and go for the second close combat, which is going to be more than enough to take it out. And then I go down to 1 counter. So I have Drift Blim, which I probably should have just sent in the my Hypno. It would have been about the same thing, but I know I can get to Shadow Ball just a bit quicker here. Take out the Primate, and then he has a Cradily in the back. So I beat him to the Icy Wind. Does pretty good damage, and then he's going to go ahead. I think this should be the Stone Edge to take me out. And then I just bring in Hypno, and I think this time I'm smart about it, and I go straight for the Shadow Ball. Yeah, Grass Knot doesn't do too much. It's not super strong. And then, yep, I go for Shadow Ball to take out this Cradily. A little bit of lag. A little bit. So there we go. Two games to 1, and that was a good round. I'm gonna head into round 3 against Peace Love Hugs, rocking 2 Shadow Pokemon. And the Chinchino, which we know is going to be running Charm. Not a lot of Charm Pokemon since Fairy types were banned. And, yeah, and Double Dragon at that, too. So, horrible lead. I switch in my own Primate just to save my Hypno Fort in the back. And then I'm going to go ahead and, like we've seen before, I do get the attack boost. So, definitely going to shield. I think he just lunges me. Yeah, so it kind of negates itself, but at least I'm not debuffed. And then I'm able to counter down his Galvantula here. So I did spin to shield to get to this. And then the Chinchino comes out. It's going to melt Primate, so I might as well go for the close combat. And then I'm going to go right back into that. And boom, there we go. Took the bait. And I can just farm down with confusion here. Since the Cinccino, since it's a normal type, if he wouldn't have shielded that, it was just gonna get obliterated. So the Night Slash is doing a lot of damage. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Thunder Punch, which takes out the Primate. And we both have one shield. Obviously, I have a lot more health left, and I'm just gonna be able to go straight smackdown to take out this little guy. I do have to shield that Aqua Tail. That probably would have KO'd me. So that was a good first round. Kind of what I was expecting for at least the back line. Well, at least having the Cinccino in the back. I did not want the Primeape in the lead, obviously. So I do lead this Primeape into his Galv, which as a lead isn't bad if you just kind of even shielding. It's better when they switch in the Galvantula, because you can have that energy lead to get off the Night Slash a little bit quicker. But he does double shield, and I'm just not able to get to that last Night Slash before him, which actually he does use his energy here, but man, he managed his energy on this Galvantula really well. Because man, look at that lunge still does so much damage to poor Crustle. And then yeah, he has perfect counters for me in the back. So losing the lead wasn't really good. There's just really not much I could do about it. Yeah, because it's Thunder Punches. If I had Ice Punch on here, it probably would have been more fitting, obviously. But I would have been able to just get to these two, and it wouldn't have done enough. Especially with the Primeape in the back, I wouldn't have had enough health. And these Dragon Breaths just whittling me away. So yeah, I'm going to shield here, even though it's just a body slam. I'm going to shield and just basically try to farm down, but he does kind of realize what I'm doing. And he just switches in to counter. These Rock Slides do a decent amount, but yeah, he has a move already. So switching it up, bringing in this Wellius. Obviously the lead kind of messed things up for me. Just, yeah, good energy management and double shielding his Galv really changed it. And going right into game 3, great lead for me. And then I have the Galvantula block this lunge this first time, and then just smack down all the way. It's just such a strong move. I expect the Primate to come back in. He saw how much Rock Slide does. So I'm going to go ahead and just go for X Scissor to get a shield. And then I go for the Rock Slide here, thinking he won't double shield. But I also forgot I got hit with a lunge. So does pretty good. So does his job there. Gets the Primeape down below half health. Take this first Night Slash and then go ahead. I'm just going to Confusion down. So he switches quickly, which is a great play to not let me Confusion down. He actually ends up making this very close, just because he gets to these body slams very quickly. I'm able to just counter down this Wellius, and then I'm going to go for close combat here to make him have to shield. And I'm just able to get to the second one. So yeah, that is enough to take the game. It's a good close set. Going in round 4. See here, pretty good solid team. Rocking the Dugong and the Probopass, which we haven't seen. I actually messed up this game again. The first game, I accidentally went in with a team from Go Battle League that just so happened to have Primeape and Hypno in the lead, but I had a Skarmory in the back, so I ended up having to forfeit that first game. And so this is the second game. So bad lead. Like I did in the other match, I send in Primeape to counters to save my Hypno in the back. And then we know, and I get the attack boost off that first Night Slash. So we know how this can go, depending on how they want to shield. And since I know I have to deal with their Primeape in the back, I definitely want to win switch here. So I do get a shield, and then they beat me to this move. So it's decision time. I am going to go ahead and let them take it down and then come back in with my Lapras. And he actually switches in his Primeape, which probably saved my butt here. And he goes for the I catch on the close. He either went for close combat so I couldn't farm him, or he just I caught it perfectly. And this is he sends in the Dugong here, which I'm able to just get to this Thunder Punch before he can debuff me. This is probably just an Icy Wind. And I'm able to get to this one more Thunder Punch. He goes ahead and he shields that up. And then he sends back in the Mandibuzz and uses his energy. So I get lucky right here that he decided to do that, and I didn't have to take that foul play on my Lapras. Even though I have way too much health for this Dugong to threaten me, and I think I still have a shield. So I still just go ahead and Skull Bash it and take game 2. Get some rare candy. Nice. So yeah, in a tough spot, just because I kind of screwed up again and keep using I have too many Pokemon on too many different Pokemon between teams here. I'm just fat fingering the wrong things. This is how the first game started. I get this Wish Cash here, and I do win the race to the first charge move, just to see if he wants to shield. So he does shield it up his Wish Cash here. And go ahead and match him, and he goes straight for Blizzard, which would have hurt a lot. Which that's a surprising play. And then I'm just gonna go for these Night Slashes. His Wish Cash does not like all this counter damage. Go ahead, lets it go. He's out of shields. I have one more. So I am just going to let this go because I'm not sure what he has in the back. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Lapras. And he does have Machamp in the back. Or not Machamp. Primeape. So I know I don't have to shield the first one. But man, if they get that boost, that second Night Slash is super deadly. I found that out the hard way in another tournament. So never shield the first Night Slash. I'm not going to shield this foul play. I'm going to let it go ahead. I actually lived, which I don't think I would have been able to get to that Thunder Punch anyways. I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Skull Bash, which is debatable. I don't think that's really the right play. Probably should have just double served. But those foul plays now don't do a whole lot of damage. So I go ahead and shield just for the hell of it. But the Ice Shard went through. So that was round 4. I get the 2 games in the back to win the set. Going into the 5th and final round against Express. Seeing a really spicy Pokemon in that Gastrodon. Could have a couple of different moves. And then Celio. Just, I catch it in the lead, which is good. But man, it just threatens so many Pokemon with that Body Slam spam. So he's staying in here a little bit. I don't know if he was trying to catch moves. To see that Body Slam just does so much damage. And Primeape is just kind of squishy. So I am going to have to shield this one. And then I go for the Night Slash. I'm either going to get his other shield, or I'm going to go ahead and just take it out. So this is really bad. It beats both Pokemon I have. So I'm going to send in Lapras and just hope for the best, because I know these ice shards hit hard, and it's not like Galvantula resists it. So I'm going to do these surfs and just try to get it as low as I can so I can confusion it down. But this is even, I think this actually takes me out. Yeah. He switches immediately into the Gastrodon, so he did have it. But this stinks because I have to go for Shadow Balls against it. Again, this is another situation where Ice Punch would have been slightly better just because it takes less confusions to get to it. He does hit me with the Earth Power, which Hypno is just such a tank. I'm able to farm it all the way down. But this is where you would want Fire Punch. Because it just barely does anything. And then just because of the turn timers, I'm able to confusion it down and we tie. So I don't know. I just, that was so fortunate to be able to farm down that Gastrodon that it forced the tie. So we had to replay just fresh game, and then I end up winning the lead hard here. Because then he sends in Primeape and I just counter switch it here. Eat the Night Slash. And then I throw the Thunder Punch just so I don't have to take a Night Slash. And then the Galvantula comes back in. I think he actually throws a move. Or no, I get to the... Yeah. And the CMP. Not many things are going to beat Galvantula for CMP. But he threw his energy, so that's good. Because he still had enough for a second one immediately. And then Frostlass comes in, which is a little scary, but I know I can get to these Night Slashes slightly quicker. Even though I am behind on energy. And even just the raw counter, the raw counter damage against this poor Frostlass has got it super low already. And I got the attack buff. Whew. Shields us, and I got a second attack boost. So I'm definitely double shielding. And I'm just going to counter it down. Oh, I almost could counter it down. I needed like one more. But I'm going to be able to... He actually catches this move, which was a really good swap. But it's so low, just the one Smackdown's able to do it. So, crazy game there. Getting double attack boosts was insane. Going into the official second match. Let's see, we lead the Primeape again just because it was so well against most of his team. We'll see how he decides to play this. We know we get to the Night Slash first. And if he... Oh, I get the attack boost again. So definitely going to shield. He's probably lunging me. So I'm back down to normal. And then he sends in the Gastrodon. Which I have Crustle in the back to deal with the Spooter. So I'm just going to do as much counter damage here as I can. See if I can pull the Slash Shield. And it's pretty low. We know I'm going to have to take some damage here. Whether he's going to Body Slam. I think he just Earth Powers me. I don't get the defense drop, thankfully. And then he sends back in the Spider, which I'm going to just let go. This is really risky, hoping that he basically didn't have his Primeape in the back. So these Body Slams are or not super, but they are resisted because of the rock typing. And this Rock Slide's going to do super effective damage. And then just 2 more. Boom. Alright, so that was game 2. So that was it, completing the sweep here. But we're going to play out game 3. I decided to lead Drifblim. Seeing if he was going to try to lead with his, or really, well, I don't know, with the Gastrodon or the Primeape. But I get the Pelipper, which isn't horrible. Just because it does resist the wing attacks, but those Weather Balls still do a pretty good amount. Ice Beam is, or not Ice Beam, Icy Wind is neutral, so it doesn't do a whole lot, but it does weaken it at least. I think he outpaces me to moves, which is unfortunate. I could have gone for Shadow Ball right there, but I'm pretty sure he's going to shield. So I got it really low. And it's double debuffed now, so it's just going to be Crustal time. And he does have a pretty good hard counter for me, which is unfortunate. But he goes for Discharge. I think he actually said he brought in the wrong the wrong Galvantula, which is not double moved. So he has to like go for... Yeah, and it was at 1200 CP. So very unfortunate. He could have had me in this one. I'm just going to go ahead and shield this and then go for the... He actually gets the boost. But then I just go for the Shadow Ball. So unfortunate for my opponent, but I am able to just Shadow Ball and win the game there. Yeah, Lunge would have killed me, and then I wouldn't have been able to kill his Primate. So I do get the sweep there, 5-0. Very fun tournament. I like this team a lot more than ones I've used in the other ones. This win did push me up to ace rank. And I have a pretty good global and US ranking right now. I think a lot of people haven't ranked their Vortex Cups. We'll see you guys next time.